each president has their period, and we're kind of defined by that.
Each one of them was really totally different, and each one of them have made wonderful contributions to the college in their own way.
It was right toward the end of the Vietnam War, and we had a lot of veterans.
All kinds of social and political upheaval during that period.
Students were engaging themselves in national issues of war, national issues of race.
We had students in the class, many of whom were coming because if they went to college, they were not drafted.
Our students were quite vocal about their opposition to the war.
Several days, the students attempted to close the campus down. They barricaded the front of the campus.
President Frederick, rather than calling the National Guard and having a Donnybrook fight over it, he charmed the leadership of that demonstration into making it an educational day. It took the students called off classes for the day and took the students to the Commons and debated the issue for the day.
He worked with the students to show that they did have a voice.
The march down the hill in support of one of our administrators, Fred Jefferson. Somebody burned a cross on his lawn of his home.
We decided as a college to express our indignation by having a walk from the campus downtown.
Even some of the more, less liberal faculty marched. It was a massive march down the hill.
Try to express to the community the fact that, this was just wrong, and we needed to stand up and be heard.
Dr. Frederick was a sociologist at heart and was able to turn all of those issues into meaningful discussions for both faculty and students and the community.
But there are people in the community that felt he was going way too far, that we were supposed to be educating people.
Support of free speech for some of the radical students incurred the wrath of a lot of local people. I still have a copy of a petition signed by 2,000 people asking for my resignation.
He felt he was doing the highest ideal of education.
Bob Frederick was really committed to solving those kind of issues, at least making everybody aware of the problems associated with them.
Don Hangen, talk about a significant contribution to the history of the college.
Under Don Hangen, the biggest thing was the funding and arranging a regional board of trustees.
That was big, very big. We didn't know how big it was.
For financial reasons, the Corning School District was no longer going to sponsor us.
The college kept growing like a great big boy, getting bigger and bigger, and the school district really couldn't handle it.
Chancellor Wharton at the time indicated to then President Hangen that the college had to close.
We came within days of having to close this place.
He had to work with all of the county governments.
Nothing that said that could even be done. There is no precedent for it.
And the people that he had to convince that this was a good idea that we become a regional college.
When Showen County came on board and Schuyler County came on board, I think it was much, much fairer to have that kind of representation on the board.
We're the only community college in the state that's really sponsored by 3 counties.
It was really a very clever thing to have done.
The significant factor that saved this institution and poised it for greatness, because then the institution can really decide its own future.
Don Hangen literally saved this institution, I believe.
Dr. Hangen brought us kicking and screaming into the technologies.
Yes.
Computers were beginning to take hold in the American society.
We had these computers which we could take home and hook up with our TV for the screen.
We took them out and we put the whole computer together and we put the chips in.
Those were the days when there weren't the software programs to do the kinds of things that you need to do today. There weren't programs that dealt with enrollment. There weren't programs that dealt with record keeping, and word processing wasn't there. And it was, we had to develop those ourselves.
Listening to the faculty complain about computers and how they're no good and what is this, and this is never going to fly.
We're going to have online registration. And I guess the If Las Vegas was putting the odds out on that, they would have said this is never going to happen. Bill and Cheryl Manuel literally lived in the computer center. Their kids slept there on the floor in sleeping bags and hadn't been tried before, and our test run was live. It worked beautifully. And I think that gave some people some confidence on the campus.